Welcome to the city council meeting room, Detroit City Council room, October 21st, 2024. Call meeting to order. Let's do the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Okay. New business. Payments of claims for October 2024. Do you have anything on it?
Do we have the bathroom before I come out of this one?
No, I don't think so, this one. I don't remember that invoice in here. Ford, what was the name of them? Do you remember?
Yeah, sorry.
Yes. And yeah, fire service.
Payments RPA for 17,000, is that the,
That is, part of it is water, the water project, and part of it's the sewer project. And they bill us. And then we cut the check and hold it until they do the actual drawdown, and that money gets into our account.
okay,
And then we send it.
draw out like when we get the grant? So
Yeah,
that's,
cash, yeah,
this will
Yeah.
reimburse those.
yeah, those are the reimbursements, so. And they're handling all that part of it.
Is there really zero in the economic development? That's what it's, right?
Cool, I'm staying short. Yeah, she's. Yeah, because I don't think that, those funds I had over in. Because I only paid 2 checks, so. Or it's 2 invoices.
Out of economic development.
It didn't come out of that because that's not where I had it, coded. And on the budget, so. I don't know. Hold on, here. So it's, having just general government is the line item that was on, so if that's wrong, we have to. Move those.
Well, no, I'm just wondering, don't we have like $9,000 in the economic development?
I don't think we had in economic development.
Just at operating.
Yeah. Because this is part of that $45,000 grant, the.
Oh, I'm not talking about that, just this fund.
Oh, okay, okay, alright. Yeah, I don't think we had anything wrong in the budget. We have dollars. Or at least we didn't take anything out of it, for this.
Oh, that's what this
That's
is.
a license, yeah. Yeah. Thank you. That's all.
Okay, I'll ask for a motion, payment to the claims for October 24th.
I'll make a motion.
CJ makes a motion, do I have a second? I'll second. Scott seconds, all in favor? Unanimous. Moving on to the business license. Cabinet Mountain Contracting LLC, Aaron Stabley from Troy here. Everybody knows Aaron very well. He called up, said he'd like to get a business license for his contracting company, and he paid for a business license. And so I'm going to ask for a motion to accept the new business license, Cabinet Mountain Contracting LLC, owner Aaron Stabley.
I'll make a motion to accept Kevin Mountain contracting.
TJ makes a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Sean seconds, all in favor? Unanimous. Okay, moving on to new business license, Goodman Construction Company LLC, CO LLC, owner is Dan Goodman, Bloomington, Indiana, I think is what that is. This is one of the gentlemen, I'm pretty sure that called me up and was talking to me about the General Dollar. He just needed a business license because he's here in Troy and would like to abide by the rules. So he was purchasing a business license. I'm going to ask for a motion to accept the new business license, Goodman Construction, CO LLC, Dane Goodman.
I'll make a motion.
Sean makes a motion. Do I have a second? I'll second. Got seconds, all in favor? Yeah. Moving on to new business license, DLM Contracting LLC, owner Daryl Mathis, Alberton, Kentucky. So this is another one that's building a General Dollar and just wanted to abide by the rules, so he's getting a business license for his company to work there. They are short term, but they did pay the half a year. I'll ask for a motion to accept the new business license, DLM Contracting LLC, owner Daryl Mathis. I'll make a motion. Scott makes a motion, to a second.
I'll second.
TJ seconds, all in favor? Unanimous. Okay, new business license, Clear Creek Landscaping, owner is Leland Smith. Would you like to stand and introduce yourself to the council?
Yes, sir. So I'm Leland Smith. I'm the owner of Clear Creek Landscaping. Started the business in 2015 in Spokane. Now reside half-time over here. And so I'd love to offer the Troy community just basic residential lawn care and landscaping services. And so I was hoping that I could get approved for a business license here and continue service over here.
It's always a needed thing around here with the aging population. We all need their.
Yeah. What part of the year are you gonna be here? Sure, yeah. Sprinkler also?
Yes, sir. Installing maintenance.
We'll ask for the motion to accept the new business license, Clear Creek Landscaping, owner is Leland Smith. TJ makes a motion, do I have a second?
Oh, Scott.
Scott, sorry. Scott makes a motion, do I have a second? Jamie seconds, all in favor? Unanimous. So you don't have to stick around for the whole meeting if you don't want to, that's just, like I said, meet, greet.
Thanks, Eric, appreciate it.
Good job, Mike. Okay, moving on to new business license, Idaho Concrete, CO LLC, owner is Kevin Austin out of Caldwell, Idaho. Okay, he's another one doing work on the General Dollar. Guess I'll ask for a motion to accept his new business license.
I'll make a motion to accept business license.
DJ makes a motion, do I have a second? I'll second it. Scott seconds, all in favor? Okay, three ayes, 1 no. Okay. Okay, moving on to new business license, SB Treasurers, owner Shirley Brown. Troy? Okay, we got a meet and greet.
As this was shut down in 2015 economy. It's mostly internet. So we do yard sales, stuff like that. But in order to ship stuff and receive them from the UK and such, we need to have business license and all legal. So we're thinking about, we're not sure we're gonna do it again because most of our distributors are all shut down, so I'm trying to put it back up and running. But we put a small warehouse on our property maybe in the future if it looks like we can put one in there. It's pretty shit. We don't know if we're gonna go there yet. We're still trying to find more distributors and wholesalers. So. Okay. As of right now, it's just checking it out, see if it's gonna work.
Well, thank you. I'll ask for a motion to accept a new business license, SB Treasurer, owner Shirley Brown. Jamie makes motion.
I'll second.
Do I have a second? Yeah. Take PJ second, all in favor? Unanimous. Okay, moving on to Screaming Brain, Jared Phoenix. Yeah. Hey, I'll do it.
Good to see you again. So yeah, basically, like do our event again. We would like to not deal with the heat that we did last year, so we are hoping that we could move it back a little bit. We're looking at the weekend of June 20th through the 22nd is what we were hoping for. So, yeah, I think for the most part should be about the same deal. I don't know if you guys had any questions about last year or any changes we were gonna make this year or
Do you have anything changing this year?
not much.
My fans.
Yeah, we're gonna take it down a notch. We kind of got ourselves in real deep and we all had to work really hard and try not to lose our minds last year, but we made it through. But yeah, we've got more people on our team now too, so it won't be mostly just him and I running the entire show. So I think things should run a lot more smoothly, and now we're getting a little earlier start on things. Hopefully we can, have twice the time that we did last year. An event like that really takes a lot longer than 4 months to put together, but I guess we made it happen.
Sound like you guys did good, and there was a lot of happy people, and I didn't hear no complaints. I mean, how about?
We thought it went pretty good.
So,
I know, can't post again, what's her name?
Lynn,
Lynn
Jared?
said that you guys were the best event you guys had down there so far, as in being courteous and asking if they needed anything, so really good feedback there, so
That's
awesome.
good.
I think.
That's supposed to.
No, we actually had a lot of people that were the locals. What was the guy's name? The pastor guy that does the. You said that you grew like skating guy. He came up on the last day. I have no idea. He was obviously a concrete worker, just based on what was in his truck from
Right.
a little red truck, right? Yeah, that he rolled. And he was so courteous and impressed. And I actually saw how hard I was working with just me and him. He's like, "Well, I got an hour." And I was like, "I would have to stand here and tell you to roll up quarters and stuff, buddy, and don't even worry about it." But the guy had said the same thing where he was like, "You guys are really taking care of the place," and so we definitely tried because we don't like to leave a mess for anybody. So
Cool.
What's Timber Beast?
Yeah, that's what I was.
I need to look at the calendar.
It's in June.
Around that time,
Yeah.
Last weekend in June, is it usually, or
sometimes depends on how close it is to the 4th.
is it Timber Beast or the other event they do?
No, the old fogey one's a little bit early.
Okay.
It's Timber Beast. It goes on in June.
I couldn't remember what one was
always
doing.
this 40-year-old. You all
The senior event.
That's May.
Yeah, I think just call Shara Monday and double check dates. So, 'cause I know Timber Beast has been going on for 10 years now.
Yeah, like reach out from just long.
Sure. I think it's Friday now. Monday.
Okay.
Are you gonna do a skate park event or a skate event?
I figured to do some sort of involvement with the skateboarding. I don't think I'm gonna bring a mini ramp again, but that was kind of a lot of work and a lot of gas money bringing it back and forth to Whitefish.
I think it was like 2 trips just by itself, 3 trips. That was a lot.
But yeah, I probably see if talk to Chris Bacon and see what he's interested in doing. So yeah, I'm currently working on a project for getting a skate park going over in Libby. So could possibly do something as a partial fundraiser for that too. I'm hoping to have the first phase being poured out in the spring, and then we're just gonna do a mini ramp, and then have the land there to build on, hopefully. So then we'll be trying to raise some real money to do some real stuff. So yeah, it could be possibly a fundraiser event for that partially too, or something like that.
Some ideas for you if you wanna give me a call on that.
So sure. Some use of help.
I'll give you ideas.
Say I'm just going around talking to different people trying to piece this whole thing together. So just a little advice here and there
Yeah.
goes a long way sometimes.
So important to know what you're asking for.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We want to have a solid plan together before we go before the Libby city council.
So if you figure out what you kind of want to do down there, then you let Sheriff know the parts that you want to, like, isolate for you guys and stuff, then we can figure out more of a cost of what it costs for each part. And I know there was, like, last year, that was kind of a training deal of what it's gonna cost for the officers and for the public works department down there. Their cleanup, which you guys did awesome, so it definitely wasn't near cleanup as some of the events, so.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right, well, thank you. Moving on to cops grant award deadline for acceptance or decline is November 12th. You want to talk about it at all, or?
Sure. So.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
So I know we were counting on the school to get their grant and they didn't. I know they're gonna apply next year. Christine Sherrill feels pretty confident about that. Henry just had a talk with her. She's so confident that she said she left his office the same. So I feel pretty good about it. However, I understand, that's not a guarantee. So this I originally I think had asked for 12,000 as a line item for our budget to be put aside every year to cover that last year of the grant. However, today I found out that it's going to be 20. And so I spent some time going over the budget because some of it I didn't have. And I feel so I was looking at least this year's part of it. I think is doable. Because we didn't for 4 months we didn't have the fourth officer, and then we didn't have the chief's wage on there for 4 months. So they calculate that out for that 3902 for 4 weeks times 4 has come out to be like 24,000. We did have an uptick in overtime because we're short an officer, so that there was going to be overtime. But Katie did a real good job last year of coming in. She came in like 10,000 under budget last year, and I feel that we could probably do the same. I'm looking at some other stuff. like right now we have Alan Dye, who's our firearms instructor, and he does a really good job. However, I just spoke with him and he wants more money to do the job and an extra 1,200 a year on top of what he gets paid for targets and stuff. Um, and so I looked and we're paying him roughly 4,000, like 3,700 so a year. So I'm looking at the stuff if we didn't get if the school didn't get their grant, which like I said, I'm pretty confident they will. But if they didn't, you know, could we still do this? And I believe that we can. We also have a pretty big expense now with dispatch, and that comes out of my budget. That's 25,000 a year. And so I'm looking into. I'm not quite sure why ambulance and fire doesn't come out. Like some of it doesn't come out of theirs as well because we all get dispatched, but it's only coming out of our department. So I feel like if some of that's split up again with you know with being able um to make these changes, I think we can still do it. But like I said, I'm feeling pretty confident that we got this year that we could cover this year and it'd be and I feel like the school could will get theirs next year. So that's where we're at. I I understand money's tight. My concern is that the town's growing and more people are moving in, and we get intel a lot that bad people are coming in. And just a year ago, I was talking with the sheriff, and he said, and they had 30 pursuits 1 month in Kalispell, and he goes, and all that stuff's coming this way, and so I really don't want to lose a fourth officer. We need that fourth officer. And then when events come up like the 4th of July and these big things that come into town, we need extra officers. Um, going down back down to 3 is gonna hurt. Um, Especially when people get sick or need time off or anything. So um, that's that's where I'm at.
So we would for sure have to pay the 20,000 for the first year.
Well, my understanding is that if the school didn't get their grant, that it's 20,000 a year for a total of 80,000 at the end of the fourth. Yeah.
For a best guesstimate. But you said this doesn't include any overtime, sorry.
That is just
Straight pay,
40 hours a week.
40 hours a week, so if we added the fourth officer, it's 70,000. And this includes all the benefits,
Right.
but no, not calculated overtime. And so just best guesstimate, because this is the last year on the contract. Thank you. Let's start with the Z. The contract, so just trying to take into account what the raises have been, all that increase, that's what Sheriff came up with, so 73,000, 76,000, and then 80,000, so we're looking at the 80,000 in the 4th year, so 20,000 a year. Setting aside.
Right. Yeah, but with the school grants, that would go into effect until the second year.
Right.
Right. If they get it. If it was if they're covering the first year, they get the grant.
Guaranteed we'd have to cover that first year.
Well, you'd be able to use the money that you got right now for the grant for the 3 years and have to cover the 4th year is what it
Right.
comes to.
We need to set aside.
Set aside.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what they were billing the school for, 15,000, that's another thing we would have to increase what their portion is. So they need to be aware of that. So we go for their grant.
Are they aware of that? That it's
More like
20,
The school.
yeah.
So I just got back from vacation, so I'll try to meet with them tomorrow or sometime this week and let them know. I know they definitely want an SRO again. And like how many times I've been called up to the school already this year. So that's not counting the other guys. So I know that they want that. I know they're going to try to get that. It sounds like they feel pretty confident about it, from what I understand. Um, and then, sorry, I lost my train of thought. I think it was on the. But anyways, yeah, that's basically what it is.
When's the end of the 4th year contract?
Yeah.
The contract,
28?
yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
the project period start
No,
date
this
is
one, the current one.
Oh,
It's
in
August.
August.
Okay.
So,
When school come out.
The other thing, I'm not sure if we found out anything yet, but we're trying to figure out, is this something like a grant that we can apply for every year, or is this once every 4 years? And
Yeah.
if we turn this back, are we going to get denied next time? I don't know.
We turn it down.
yeah, if we could do it next year, I sent an email to the contact person who was supposed to be out. It said she's out through the 18th, but her auto email thing was still on, so I don't know if she's back in the office yet or not. She hadn't replied yet. So. What do you have budgeted for wages? Those file for the police department. What do you draw?
Do you have that sheet, Paul?
That's what I'm not told.
I do.
Oh, no, like the whole budget. Yeah. That. Let's see, there's 4 grades and. Figure out for him. So it was,
He already had 12,000, right? That you have
Yeah.
put away, so it'd be $8,000 more that you come up with a year
Yeah.
or something like that. As long as you-
7,000 is what we have budgeted. For all of the police part. For the year for wages, and that included some of the overtime. So I feel that was probably only 3 people.
So
she
she's like,
picked
no,
those.
this is 293, not even including your 25,000 for dispatch.
Yeah.
Or any overtime, so what do we get?
No, that's
That's just
for
salaries.
elements.
That's just salaries.
Is that include? I can't remember. So for the cops breaking it.
Sure. What's in this one? That's what we were trying to put that machinery and equipment, shall we pretend there or your,
There's definitely some wiggle room
yeah,
in there.
Looking at it as 8,000 instead of 20,000, it's
Yeah.
not as dramatic, I guess.
Yeah.
Right, and then like I said, like Katie did well. We came under 10 last year, and then plus like if we can get some help with dispatch, plus with me taking over firearms, if that's what it comes to, that knocks all that down.
I know we don't have money to pay somebody else more when we have a guy that can do it.
Yeah,
Can
I'm
you
not saying that
For
it's not
this.
the information.
sure, I get it.
Figure out for the next meeting what exactly that difference is that we would need to.
So we need
Get together.
we need to know before the next
Before
meeting
the
if we're
next
going to
meeting.
accept or if we're going
Right,
to reject
exactly.
the grant.
Oh, before the next meeting?
Yeah.
November 12th is when we have
So
to.
that have to, yeah.
Oh, right.
This is the
okay.
voting meeting.
This is the voting.
the-
So we
Yeah,
have
to have a special meeting or.
right, but we don't know right now what the difference is.
$8,000,
But
a year.
for sure, do we have that $12,000 that like to set aside budget? I just can't get.
That's what when you guys accepted the budget, that's what he had in there, is the housing stuff, saying he's willing to take and put towards that. But we got $8,000 less than what we've really need.
I just wanna make sure that $12,000 is in our budget. I just don't remember that we did that because we weren't sure about cost criteria.
No.
I don't think, did you set the $12,000 in there just for the cops grant? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, because I thought I thought that's what what we were told is that we needed. I guess that didn't figure in, all the, our benefits and, imports and all that.
Yeah, I have to see where it was on her. Cause I thought it was in there too, so I would have to double check that. From Katie's notes. Which one I knew she was figuring for the cops grant funds. And there's another whole thing, I didn't think I said that. The part for law enforcement right here. I guess I'll ask that of everybody too. Do we know, does anybody remember having a contract with Alan Dye? No. No. Okay.
There was the found it there, right?
I never found one.
Yeah. I never remember a contract. I remember an hourly wage that we came up with
Right.
for them, and that was the only thing I know of. Never any kind of contract.
No, but it would have been before I came. I can ask Tracy.
So, yeah,
I thought there was something that kind of did his hourly and then with the maintenance breakdown. Maybe it was just a sheet Katie had or I'm not necessarily gonna be a contract.
I remember when Alan was doing it, for doing the training stuff, it was an hourly wage.
Yeah.
He was doing the targets and he was doing all that on his own time. He was even staying up there for 2 days, I think is what it was, to watch his targets. And from what I remember, he's doing it to help the police department. So he wasn't charging anything. I don't remember if he charged any material costs. So it could have been, at Mark's Lumberjack material costs, but I don't remember.
so what he told,
anything on it.
yeah, what he told me, is because I went to talk to him before I went on vacation to see if he was still wanting to do it and what he want to do. And he said, I have a contract. He goes, where, I get paid regardless if I'm working or not. It's like set up on like a payment. He said, but he goes, if I do this, I want more, and I want
And
an
then,
extra 1,200 a year. And I said, well, what do you think you need? And he didn't really have anything at that time. I said, I'll talk to you when I get back from vacation, and that's where we left.
okay, so
He charged you for something that since we're paying us, I'm not going to have a vacation or something with them or that's
I don't remember anything during vacation or
something like that.
just kept on going back and forth on the hour because he was so much cheaper than an officer. So like, why not have him? He does this all chance, cheaper which helped out. At that end, I remember that argument a couple of times.
He didn't have a written contract.
Okay.
He is an employee who's listed as a training officer. I think he
That's
does.
like, yeah, I think Tracy had to put him in as a employee.
I think he accrues sick and vacation time.
And that's when she had to catch all that up or something or.
Did we write him a bigger check at one time? I know all the checks I've signed for were pretty small, so.
Yeah.
And it's been a while since I've seen one of them come across. But truthfully, with if as long as that $12,000 is there that was budgeted in your department there, and you only have to come up with $8,000, so you're gonna have to cut overtime on people, which would cut overtime by having that fourth officer for you. And you just have to really tighten up on your budget. For that extra $8,000 is what I see.
Yeah.
As long as that $12,000 was already budgeted and it didn't get moved somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it. I mean, like I said, I got this afternoon, so I was I believe it's doable for sure.
What's your guys' thoughts?
I just wanna make sure what we have budgeted already.
Did you find it, Paul?
No, I didn't bring any of the other,
Okay.
I only did the,
Oh.
I gave him as well, but it's not, it's like specific. Unless, like I say, it just seems to me for some reason that 10,000 was part of it in the machinery and equipment. She was like, let's leave that there, we can use that for the cops. So.
Well, shouldn't we have a line item for the cops grant? In the budget?
That's what I asked for this.
Right, because we have money coming in, coming out, so there should be a separate line item.
There isn't one what is here.
For expenditures.
Right. For expenditures, and I don't come to revenue with.
Then you said you're waiting to hear back
Yeah,
whether it's a revolving
yeah,
or whether we could skip a year and do it next year.
yeah, whether we could just, if we don't take it, if we don't accept it this year, could we put it in again? And see if we get awarded or not, or if it's every 4 years, since it's a 4-year.
Right.
Well, was the schools the same grant? Because the school went for it, didn't get it, and they're gonna go for it next year.
I think they went for it was a different grant. It was like a safety grant or something like that. It was that they were going to use that for an SRE type of thing. Is what my understanding was.
That was COVID, wasn't it? We got.
Okay. This is
Centuries.
not, yeah, revenue
Work on that. Sure, it's come down.
yeah,
So.
it's in there for the stuff coming.
Unless you go to school, that's how you do it.
Yes,
We're not-
that was, right, well, that was, well, yeah, that's right, that was so, we didn't have, is that in revenues, or is that in revenues? Is that in?
But this is not a cycle.
Yeah,
I-
yeah.
I don't know if we took it out though.
Here, right, yeah, because I know originally they were thinking we were gonna get it, so.
Right.
And found out, yeah, in the last minute that they weren't.
I don't see anything in revenues for specifically for the top school. Just that school donation, donation.
It would be 20K additional this year. For that.
It'd be $20,000 a year for the 4 years, but you don't have to come up with a $20,000 if the money's there, from what I understand. For the first 3 years, it's the 4th year, the city would have to cover no matter what, or you would require to pay back this amount of money.
Yeah.
Is what would happen if you get paid for that 4th year. So to come up with money on the 4th year, that's what you guys are gonna have to decide if you're gonna be able to come up with the money for the 4th year. Since the first 3 years is gonna cover.
But if you don't pay the 4th year, then
Then you're all that, yeah. That's from what I understand, Grant.
Yeah.
Yes. If they didn't get, if we're not doing it as an SRO, one of the conditions is that you have to have a memorandum of understanding with that school. So if they're not doing that this year, we may not be able to. But that's why we said put in for it, you know. So we may not be able to, even if we could fund it.
I'm sure they wouldn't turn it down if we were funding the first year.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, if you were sending an officer up there as an SO officer, helping out down here, as long as you're keeping up with the overtime thing to save that extra money, that's what you have to look at, you know. But yeah, you'd still be putting an officer in the school now and then to help out as an SO officer. Would probably be able to put them up there full time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we could, yeah, we. Yeah, and I need to talk with Christina on that.
So say the best thing to do with this one is to table it for, for a week, 2 days, whatever it takes, to find out that information.
Yeah,
Find out the information that's all been asked. They come back and you'd have to have a special meeting to be able to vote on it before next month.
yeah.
We could have a special meeting before the work meeting,
Right, yeah.
since we're all gathered anyway.
So you guys are answering by then, so it's
So we need to know what that condition about that condition. And the factors.
so it'd be November 4th would be that.
okay. Yeah, I'll get working on it tomorrow.
Okay, so I'll ask for a motion to table the cops grant award. Deadline for acceptance or decline is November 12th, 2024.
I'll make a motion to table cost grant award.
TJ makes a motion to have a second.
Second.
Sean a second, all in favor? Yeah.
What else do we need to know besides those two things? The amount we budgeted versus the exhaust plan. Cost, the school condition. Yeah. Was there anything else?
Is whether the school do a memorandum of understanding.
Yeah.
Is there a minimum or like full-time, half-time SRO
Right.
in the
On the grant, yeah, you'd have to find out that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
To do what you need to do, they couldn't be full time. That's we definitely for part of it, I guess.
Yeah, so I think how Henry did it last year was, our last 4 years or whatever was, I think he worked 2 on at the school and 2, with us. And I think in the spring or something, he was, they don't have school on Friday, right? Like that, so it changed up a little bit or something. But yeah, he did half his time here and half his time.
So that's what you'd be looking for is, yeah. Especially if you're looking at trying to save that overtime.
Right.
Yeah.
I would love to see like a specific how you're gonna find that money difference with the budget.
Okay.
Just, and it would help plan ahead, but
Yeah.
help us be comfortable too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
Thanks, Travis. Moving on, local government review, need 2 additional citizens by November 15th, 2024. And volunteers.
do we have any so far?
Yeah, there's one. Oh,
Actually,
did you get another one? Okay, I didn't see Ben at all. I seen the other gentleman.
Yeah, Ben was an email,
Oh, wow.
send it out today. The Michael Hoskins of the post office asked me today if what would be the significance is, whatever interest also,
So that would be 3.
we might have all of them that we need.
How many do we need?
3,
3, oh,
One has to be an ex officio.
that would be an additional person, yeah, so we need 3 committee members and then an ex officio to guide them on their journey.
Cause we know how to do that.
Yeah.
So it's an ex officio. So doesn't that mean somebody that's not in the government anymore, but was being an ex?
It doesn't
That's the way I
matter.
understood it.
In this case, it could be somebody, it could be a council member, it could be a city employee, it could be a former.
Yeah, I just by seeing the X part of it in the beginning, I just
Yeah.
assumed it would be somebody that was already on the council or part of the city government at one time, but not as a city government right now.
I looked up the requirements and so it doesn't matter. Ideally, it's someone who knows all of the forms of government and why we're doing what we're doing. So they can explain it to them.
Okay. Okay, moving on to 2025 meeting calendar adjustments for the holidays. That's in your packet.
Should be in there. There are several that I guess I just moved them to Tuesdays. Is that what you want? Or
Oh, when they conflict at home.
yeah, we're making conflict with holiday. So the regular council meeting in January would fall on Martin Luther King Day when we're closed. Again, in February, the regular meeting falls on President's Day. And then again not again until September, I think. No, I don't think it didn't fall on that. September is again Labor Day. We did it on Tuesday this last time. That's what I put in there. So just
3 times.
yeah. So I just put that out there and tried to give you guys a breakdown of the schedule for this things. Yeah. Calendar year.
You need to vote on that one though.
I don't know.
I've never remembered voting.
I don't think, yeah, I don't think so. That's formal
Flowers. Mondays, a couple of years ago, to change a couple of.
Oh, yeah, no, I've changed a couple of meetings.
Yeah.
I don't remember them. Yeah.
All right,
I just making sure by changing the whole calendar at one time, I wouldn't.
yeah.
Stuff like that. If not, that's great. Well, business none as far as you know. Move on to department reports. Sir.
That's because I left mine upstairs. Up the stairs real quick. Alrighty. So as far as training goes, and I wasn't here for 2 weeks, so I just put together what I had here. But as far as training goes, I met with Levi about getting some training for our department. He wanted to go over this law stuff, things that we might have questions on and everything. And we were really wanting to start working on, like I said, that drug problem and building up our reserve program and getting the stuff going out there. And he wanted to put some training together for us as far as what to look for, law was anyway. So that's in the works. We're just kind of waiting to see if we get another officer, because he didn't want to do a training and then have to do the same training again after we get some new officers. So we're working on that. Vehicles, we have 2 that I think are going to need some maintenance work done on, but otherwise they're in pretty good shape there. Still like working with the sheriff's department on stuff. So our evidence department and stuff like that. The grants, we're still waiting, or we just went over the grants. So we're working on that. Upcoming events. All I know of right now is I know the school has that haunted trail thing or something like that this Saturday. So I know we got that. I don't know if they have any other events going on.
Trunk or treat's coming up to 31st of that.
I'm kind of figuring
Halloween, fire department members stuff over here also.
Well, yeah. I think there'd be some following events. And from what I could gather real quick, looking at everything, looks like we had 42 calls for service and 1 agency assist that I could see.
Thank you.
That's cool.
That's me now, but
Yeah, since you're the only one that has anything.
yeah, I was gonna say, they caught me on site, you had something come up, you gotta go. So ours in the water department, we had a DEQ visit, so I'm really impressed. It's a sanitary survey, they do it every 2 or 3 years. They just go around, look at the well houses, the water tanks, and everything to do with the water system, and overall, it sounded like she was really impressed. So I think she sent Chuck a letter to talk. I think I got a copy of it, and said she didn't have any issues, so there was really nothing to fix. I submitted the lead and copper survey online, so that's done and over with. We had a service, Dallas at the church wanted to redo the service for their gear pit, so we just dug it up and hooked it up for them. That was, and it landed right when these guys were water class, so that was handy. But we got it on. And then, yeah, Jesse went to the water test. We did a new service down here at the end of Yak for that house that Bernard built. So it's stubbed in, but now he's just got to dig in his own line. And then, so Maria, she called a couple times next door, and she was talking, said, well, yeah, she said periodically off on for a long time they had a weird sewer smell. We went and checked it out. We ran water through the main, everything came out clear. I mean, there's on our side, there's no issues. I almost wonder if they don't have a venting issue in their new house that they put up. Because I asked her, well, where does your vent come out the roof? And she's like, we have one of those. And I'm so
Maybe not.
it kind of sound like
Or a piss trap that went dry.
yeah, something like that.
in the line.
Yeah.
But anyway, try and help them out there. Hopefully they'll won't have any issues. This violation letter we got, so in August, we did a sample, we were just a little bit too high on our TSS, which is total suspended solids, is that they look at the turbidity in the water, how big it is, basically, how much is floating in there. During the hot weather, excuse me, with the outages and stuff that we had, there was a couple periods of time when the blower was going. And so we had a massive algae bloom on the hot weather and stuff, so it looked like green Kool-Aid. So that's what that was. And I
That's
already,
in the sewer.
yeah, and the soups of it, yeah.
Don't put
So-
that in the water.
Yeah, yeah. It was in the wastewater. But so I just had to send him an email kind of explaining we had going on. That satisfies that. And then Travis, when he went to school in Jensen, he did a sewer test for a sewer operator test. Up at the cemetery, we blew the sprinklers out, put it to sleep, we shut the well off and winterized it. There was still a few piles of stuff that actually I think there's still a couple. That when Dallas was under cleaning stuff up, we still gotta clean up a little bit, but we got most of it taken care of. And tomorrow I put this in here just because tomorrow we have to do a parade. Because Wednesday, yeah.
Did you get that headstone marked out today?
No, but yeah, I messaged the guy and said we'll be up there, so we should hopefully be able to catch him because it's kind of right next door to where we're gonna be. So
Yeah, I look at this farm, it should be pretty.
yeah. So then on the streets, DJ finally got with us. We got the paving road going on Yak. We went all the way down again. So those people were real happy with that. We did 2 patches on Riverside. Well, we ended up we had 1 extra truck, so we actually went down where the potholes are really bad on the boat launch area. And we kind of made a couple passes there, and it looks good, so hopefully some of them come back.
Everybody's, from what I heard, everybody's happy with other.
It looks real good. I think you guys can. I told them we'll have a taco feed or something.
Pizza, taco, stands.
So that all ended up. And then for the shop stuff, we said, museum bathrooms, that was a big deal. We took them apart and got them all prepped and ready. They came in, spent a couple days doing their thing. We're in the process of putting them back together. I think we got the toilets are installed, the water meters back in. Today, while it was raining, they were kind of flipping them. I think on the women's side, the stalls that we took out, they're in pretty good shape, so we can put those ones back in. The men's side, we got to do something different because those ones were all busted and chipped up and broke and stained, and we're not going to put those back in. So we're fabbing something up for that. And I think you'll like our idea. So that's in the works, but the floors turned out amazing. In these black and white pictures here, they don't really do it justice, but the first couple there, that's the men's side. You can see where the floor was a little stained and dingy, it looks great now. The next page there, that's the women's side. The floor was the red paint was kind of holding up, but it was starting to come up real bad. But it looks fabulous now. And then on the very back page, that's what the shower looked like. And there's a little bit of a sunspot and a shadow of a chubby guy with glasses. There, the other. I don't know who that is. Anyway, the shower. I mean, it's got that extra stuff, so we shouldn't use the good fall. And so those turned out fabulous. Sprinklers are all done, put the concession stand to sleep. The restrooms were done except the ones at the bowl launch, they're still active. We usually leave those ones open until it gets like super cold, and then we shut them down if we have to. But all the rest of them are done. The splash pads winterized. And then I think all we have left to do, we still got to take the shade covers down over the kitty area and then the smaller one. But that's, that shouldn't take too long. As long as we get that done before the snow flies. And then using the pickleball court nets, you take those down too. So anyway, that's kind of what we've been up to.
Going off what Clay told me this morning, the only thing he's got to complain about is he gets one job done and two more pop up.
Yeah.
Tommy did get a dump trailer, found one in Orfino, Idaho, and then he found a pole trailer too. No, the pole trailer is in Orfino and the dump trailer is Utah, yeah. So he's gonna have to make a trip to Utah to get it. And the pole trailer being built, which he got for a lot less than the $40,000 that he was budgeted for, even with the cost of going and getting them. So he's coming under budget with the pole trailers by buying it. Those two trailers instead of one. So he's actually saving some money there.
He kept saying pole trailer today, and I'm like, pole? Like they only pull them all. Really? There's a pole trailer.
The telephone pole trailer. So they can help our story. Yeah, so okay. I guess my report, I'm done after this meeting. I'm done. I'm leaving. So with the council that I have, I gotta fight an ex-mayor that the council decides they gotta go and have meetings with. I got two commissioners that I've had to deal with over this time of wanting to run this town the way I gotta do it. I've had the sheriff for the county cause issues. I've had the Lincoln County Planning Department director call up and tell me that these people are lying, and we find out that they weren't lying, and I've never got a call back from him, even though I've messaged him over again about this. I got a council that's going to do what they want. So I am done with this altogether. So there's my report. So public comments on matters not on. Okay, I'm gonna ask for a motion to adjourn.
Oh,
Why don't you ask something like that? Ask.
What?
Why don't you ask a question on operating there?
to her that one.
When I ask about it, that's the thing, is every time I ask about something and you guys sit there, this is what I go and do, go ahead and go on with the next one. And then everybody comes up with something to ask questions about. So, what?
Well, let's like a 5-second break. Just to see if anyone else had anything to say. Or, if anyone wanted to respond to what we had said.
Okay, I'm just done with it, so.
Okay. My comment on stuff that's not on the agenda is the growth policy. So
Really good.
yeah, okay, it's really, really good. So I sent that, make sure everyone has a copy of it to look at. We have to have it. The grant wraps up at the end of December, so we have to have that all the billing done from the contractor. Before then, and the reimbursement before then. So but it's on track to do that, so yeah, we just need to send them any edits or notes or anything if they're finishing out. They still have some graphics and stuff to add. And then we're gonna do public meeting and they're gonna travel up here for that over here when they from North Dakota. And so I think that's the first meeting in November.
November 4th,
Yeah, okay. Thank you. So, let them know, or let me know so if that's questions or anything. Thanks. I think they did it. Yes, this person will see yeah, like all very positive things for the future. Yeah, and they said that Troy was, well, Matt has come up here. He said that of all the communities he's worked in, Troy is like very positive, and everyone's talked to. It's mostly people mostly talk about commercial sense, and not so much about all the. They don't just complain about stuff that they want to change. Talk about things that they really like and they want to keep, maintain, and grow the good instead of just complaining about bad. So, yeah.
I do have one thing that can go on matters not on the agenda. Found out that we can't put Travis on a probationary period, that's only for new hires. So there's no probationary period for his chief position, and we're not allowed to move him afterwards for any kind of questioning by the council. So.
Still willing to be transparent and I mean, you guys got any questions for me or want, like you said, like like a report and stuff like that. I'm good with that. Whatever you guys.
Cool. That's easy.
And I just want to bring up, so for a vacancy for the charter, an elected office under this charter becomes vacant as prescribed by law. When any vacancy occurs in any elective office, this position shall be considered open and subject to nomination and election at the next general municipal election. Except the term of office shall be limited to the unexpired term of the person who originally created the vacancy. Pending such an election and qualification, the council shall, by majority vote of the members, appoint a person within 30 days of the vacancy to hold the office until the successor is elected and qualified. So the next election will be next November, which would have been when it would be
So we need to appoint someone.
So at the next council meeting, we'll need to as an item. Okay.
Till then, the president, the council takes it.
Is that what it says?
That's what the, yeah. president of the council does.
It does say that in the charter. It doesn't say that specifically when the mayor position is empty, but the art is backup, basically. She's got that in the charter. Yeah. But it's not, it says when the mayor's not available, I believe.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Makes more sense. Which I get. On favor?
Dennis, thank you for 23 years.
Yep. It's